So, ladies and germs, we're back, and it's time for the read. So, I'll just go ahead and say this, because I don't really have like a read. I'm just going to tell you how I feel in this moment.
Yeah, that's real.
As disgusted and ashamed and pissed as I am with this country, I'm not going to allow this to have me live my life any differently. And I had this conversation with my therapist yesterday, and she asked me, because I was just over it, like walking in, dropping my bag on the ground, like, just, girl, here we are. Like, she was like, how are you feeling? And I said, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Because I'm not. But she ended up asking me after I did my, first rant. She said, how do you think that this is going to affect you, like your personal day-to-day life every day? We talked about police brutality. We talked about, healthcare, taxes, all that stuff.
Right.
And came to the conclusion that we don't know necessarily exactly how this is going to affect us yet. We just know it's about to be some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just feel like this just means that we're going to have to work harder. This just means that we're going to have to yell louder. We're going to have to step. Our marches are going to have to be, very passionate. Crack some fucking pavement in these marches. Like, we're just not going to have to give up. But we wouldn't have had to stop if Hillary won. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is certainly going to make it harder for many, many, many people.
Right.
But it doesn't, like, the fight wasn't going to be over with Hillary in office. You know what I'm saying? So if this means that I got to, buckle down and start cussing out more of you white folk, I'm ready to do it. I ain't tired. You know what I'm saying? My heart and my soul are tired.
That's it.
But my mouth and these hands are just getting started. So
we're just now warmed up, girl.
I mean, bring it, is how I truly feel. It's going to be 4 solid years if he's not impeached or assassinated. 4 years of fuck him, fuck his wife, fuck his kids.
Right.
Like, that's how I feel. Fuck his vice president, his cabinet, his drawer, his everything. His compartment, everything, fuck all of it. So, it's really eye-opening for so many of us. Not really us, per se, because it really does kind of, like, it was a reminder and kind of like it shook you up a bit to see these numbers and see all these red states. Like, y'all really hate people.
They do.
Like, hate people.
Yeah.
Because this man has not stood for anything but hatred. I can't tell you a piece of policy that he has said that would really benefit a single Republican besides ostracizing communities that don't consist of white, straight, rich men and, like, making them feel like they have no place here. Right. So for you to vote for this nigga when that is all that he has stood for lately, it's just like you hate people.
Yeah.
You hate people that much that you would let a reality TV star, the same nigga who sat across from Kenya Moore and Vivica Fox and watched them argue over who stole Vivica Fox's phone. Him, and decide who to fire from his fake company on his reality show. That is who is going to be your president. Like, y'all didn't even say, you know what? Let's just keep everything else Republican and give Hillary Clinton a hard time for 4 years like we did Barack's black ass. You gave this bitch the satisfaction of being able to say that him and his sugar baby are the president and first lady of this country. I can't. I don't even know if I'm going to process this. Maybe it'll be year 2 again if we make it that far. But, my mind is blown. But like I said, and I'm wrapping up.
No, you're fine. Go off.
Nothing about my life is going to change. When we left your house, for that watch party that you had.
Yeah. Oh,
Dustin
God.
and I were walking to the train. I was going to get in an Uber. He was getting on the train. Ask him. When we got up to 135th or whatever in Lenox, a cop car pulled around the corner and stopped, and the passenger's window was rolled down, and the white cop in the passenger seat was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like with like this smart ass.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You guys good? like you're pissed. Like,
I'm
I know
sorry
you
y'all
mad.
couldn't have shot him. I'm sorry y'all couldn't shoot him right in that moment.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he
Like,
deserved it.
already harassing the fuck out of us. And the nigga hadn't even officially won yet.
Right.
We just knew at that point that he was about to.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm, super glad that you're getting your shits and your giggles and all of that stuff from this. But if anything, like I said, none of this is going to change. I'm going to keep doing and saying what I've been doing and saying. I'm going to continue to work. I'm going to continue to make jokes. I'm going to continue to encourage people to laugh and to love themselves. I'm going to continue to go out here and chase my paper so I can pay this New York rent, whether you want to raise it, drop it, whatever the fuck you hoes about to do. I don't care. Bring it on, because I'm built for this. However, I can still take a bit of solace in knowing that that man is going to ruin the fuck out of your lives too. Maybe worse than ours. Like, Donald Trump is certainly going to make every American life shitty. Like, he's
Right.
not just going to save you. That man don't know what the fuck he about to do. He has no experience in shit besides telling Aubrey O'Day and Dionne Warwick that they don't have an imaginary job no more. I don't know what else the fucking nigga had. Like, he's going on trial he's not going on trial for rape anymore since, they harassed the fuck out of this child and their family
Had to drop the
for the
lawsuit,
longest time to
right.
make them drop it. But either way, this country has had shit elections before. They have appointed complete hardcore dumbasses to that exact same seat and spot.
Right.
As mind-blowing as this is. Because the last real dumbass president that I can remember was George Bush, and he at least played the game. We talked about this. George Bush at least went out there and tried to pretend like that nigga knew what being a president was.
Right. George W. Bush, looking back on that, I can't believe I'm looking back on George W. Bush like, he wasn't so bad. And he was abysmal.
Shit.
But next to Donald Trump, he looks qualified and competent.
Glenda, the good bitch. Like, he is serving yellow brick road. Because this nigga right here, oh God. But it's embarrassing. It's a fucking fool that all of these other countries are laughing. Like, many countries ain't even laughing. Like, they feel bad for us.
Yeah.
Like, many other countries are just like, I am so sorry. There's so many of you American citizens who actually care about life.
This is what you have to deal with now.
But bring it. If you feel like the evil and the hatred that this man has stood for his entire campaign is really just about to be, justified, and that you're about to be able to run around and do whatever you want to, I want you to bring it. Because people like myself who have been standing up and saying whatever the fuck, or who will march and who will get up in any white face and say how the fuck I feel.
That's it.
None of that is going to change. And it wasn't going to change whether Hillary Clinton, Jill Stein, anybody could have been motherfucking president. It could have been Lola Bunny out this bitch. I don't care who would have been in that motherfucking seat. But none of that would have been any different. So feel like you can play a game if you want to. I just hope that Donald Trump is going to have your health care in order so that you can readjust your nose.
Oh, you're not having any health care, girl.
Together when we punch you in your goddamn face, feeling like you can play a game, because you won't. Samantha Bee said an amazing...
She killed that.
If you have not seen, just go, and I think the clip is called The Morning After or something.
Yeah.
At least,
you should be watching Samantha Bee's show, though, because it's good.
It's really good.
It's called Full Frontal. It's good.
Go and watch the clips from this, because she let them fucking have it.
Yeah, TBS puts it on YouTube.
But one thing that I loved that she said was, all of you white people who are going out there who feel like you're not going to, suffer the effects of whatever bullshit Donald Trump is about to bring into this country, and talk about, oh, well, I didn't vote, or I didn't vote for him anyway, so get off my dick. All you all lives matter assholes, Samantha Bee said an amazing thing. If Muslim people have to represent, if the entire community has to represent or take the blame for the actions of a few radical psychos, white people, you gonna have to stand up in your shit.
That's right.
For each and every one of these bitches. Because we already saw the number of how many of you bitches voted for a hate monger and an ass beast anyway. So yeah, you too, bitch. Start passing out memos. Started an e-zine,
yes,
a newsletter,
something.
I don't know what the fuck. The KKK got a newspaper, so nothing should be stopping you bitches. Start spreading the motherfucking word and get your people in check. Since we're out here labeling a whole ass groups and calling them one thing, y'all bitches too. Yeah, you too. Because from the Muslim people that I've been around and seen here in New York City alone, just be trying to pay their rent. You know, like that. Those are the ones who I have come across. Now, many of them won't stop for me when I need a cab, but still, they're not trying to blow me. That doesn't mean I think
they should be deported.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to call them terrorists. Right. I'm not going to assume that they hate me or, I'm not going to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? It's your own motherfucking narrative anyway, and the bullshit that y'all be telling American people that make them think that we all trying to go to Brooklyn and rob them anyway.
Lord.
I'm not going to sit up here and allow any of y'all bitches to have any type of satisfaction and feel like because he was elected president that you're going to have free reign to shoot me, beat me, call me any kind of things or whatever, because you can bring it. Nothing has changed. And absolutely, until inauguration, my president is still black and my imaginary Lambo is beige, bitch. It's cream. So bring it on. I'm not going to cower. I'm not going to sit in fear. I'm not going to act like I'm afraid to leave my house. I'm not going to Toronto. I'm not going to Amsterdam. I'll be back to visit both of those places. They're absolutely lovely cities. But I'm not leaving America, bitch. I've paid my motherfucking taxes and I have every right to be here. And I have, regardless of who is the president, first lady, first kid, Secret Service, Senate, I don't give a fuck what you do. Regardless of who is sitting in what seat, I have a right to express how I feel in this country and how I feel I should be treated in this country, how I feel people like me, who people not like me, should be treated in this country because I'm an American citizen. And you're gonna hear what the fuck I got to say, bitch. And if you don't like it, guess who can leave? You.
Because to be American is to be an immigrant. And for all y'all's hooting and hollering about immigrants, every last one of y'all's people came over here on a boat.
And every
illegally
one of you.
Or without invitation.
Unless you're Native or Mexican, you probably can't even say anything about immigration or none of that. Because Mexican and Native American people were just here. You know what I'm saying? Like ours. They were just here the whole time. Like they the only ones who could probably be like, girl, you leave. Like they're the only
y'all came
ones.
Here and drew these imaginary lines around and decided these were states and this was your country and all this.
Killing each other for some shit that wasn't yours. All we were doing was just, singing songs, dancing, making amazing fabrics. And shit, like eating and
seasoning our food,
bathing,
having a whole civilizations,
creating a culture,
technology and art advancements,
advancing arithmetic
being
and sciences,
amazing, actually, just changing. But then here y'all came. Like y'all went to every other part of the globe and about fucked those up too. So after the election, I was really upset. Like that night, it took me a long time to go to sleep, probably 4 or 5 a.m. before I finally fell asleep.
And I had like fucked up at your house, so I just went to bed.
Yeah, and I was glad that everybody was there because I had been listening to Keeping It 1600 and all these other political shows, and everybody kept saying it's gonna be fine. She's polling, so well. So to see that white people basically have gotten smart enough to know that they shouldn't publicly say that they vote for Trump or that they like Trump. But when it comes down to it, child, when it comes time to get behind that curtain, they coloring in that bubble or mashing that button for Donald Trump every fucking time.
Right.
That's what it is.
I mean, back at work sitting next to you in the lunch break room. Yep. Like, hey, girl, I love your hair. Let me touch it.
It's like, okay, but... So some things about the election. Obviously, this did not go the way that I wanted it to.
Bring it.
I told y'all last week about not blaming black people for this, and I knew I knew that if Donald Trump won, within 12 hours, I was going to see black voters deserted Hillary Clinton.
Was it even 2?
It wasn't. It was that same fucking night. Black people, percentage point, she's down 5% from where Barack Obama was in 2012 with black voters. Okay, so first of all, I don't give a shit. We're only 13% of the population. Secondly, if you really thought black people were going to be just as hyped to vote for Hillary Clinton as they were for Barack Obama, you are deluded. Barack Obama is black, girl. So please be serious. Black people obviously had a stronger connection to him.
I don't think we had as much dirt on him as we did Hillary Clinton.
I mean, and we've known Hillary Clinton for 20-some-odd years. There's been a lot of time to not like her.
Absolutely.
There's been a long time to not like Hills.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean she isn't extremely qualified. And just because I may not have preferred her as a candidate doesn't mean that I wasn't clearly aware that she was the best one. And I actually went and voted for Hillary Clinton with, almost a certain degree of pride. Like, I think more than anything, I felt like it is my duty to go in here and do this. And I felt like significantly less anxiety after I did it. Like, this was my responsibility and this is there's so many things to talk about here, but I really wish those of you who were thinking about third parties or thinking about abstaining from voting at all were capable of looking past you and your situation and thinking about what's best right now for the greater good. I feel like those of you who chose to take your vote elsewhere, who chose not to vote for Hillary and in essence casted a vote for Donald Trump, I feel like you just weren't able to look past what you thought was best or your own personal feelings and say, the person that we elect as president of this fucking country is going to be in charge of or be the figurehead for a Senate and a House of Representatives that can make all kinds of giant changes to what is going on in this country. So it's not even that we elected somebody so horrible who has said all these horrible things. It's that Donald Trump has his people, his campaign, his staff, they've already released a statement saying, ignore Trump's campaign rhetoric. It won't be, the hatefulness towards Muslims that you saw during the campaign. It'll be something a lot more toned down. He's not going to be able to do all that crazy shit that he said to get those rednecks to vote for him in the first fucking place. Right, but see, they don't know that. They just want to hear something fucking hateful. But the rest of y'all didn't think about the fact that if Donald Trump is elected, then that means most of those people probably just voted down ballot. And so now he's got a Republican House and a Republican Senate, which means those people, even though Donald Trump don't know what the fuck he's doing, Mike Pence certainly does. The cabinet of equally horrible Republican men that he's going to staff to fill it, those people certainly know what they're doing. The House of Representatives and the Senate also know what the fuck they doing. And this is Donald Trump with the ability to appoint 1, 2, 3 Supreme Court nominees over the next 4 years. It just depends on whether these old people die fast enough. He has control of all 3 branches of government. Like, this is Mike Pence talking about gay people should be put through conversion therapy because it's a lifestyle and it's something that can be changed. This is,
Mike Pence probably likes a couple of dicks.
I'm certain Mike Pence has gone to a park and stuck his dick in a hole in a bathroom wall and slid $5 under the stall. Like, I'm certain that's happened. I mean, because the ones who hate us the most, it's always something going on underneath there. It always is. But it's not just, I don't like Hillary. You put people into office who are going to roll back gay marriage if they can at all do it.
Bring it on.
Who are going to roll back Obamacare if they can at all do it. And I wish, so this is the thing.
That's going right out the window.
I've always had health insurance. I've never had to pay more than like $100 a month through my job for health, vision, life, dental, all that shit. So I was very naive and sheltered about the whole health insurance conversation. And when I learned about how fucked up it is for most Americans before Obamacare, I was very strongly in support of universal health care in America. And even though Obamacare is shit for me.
It is for many people, yes.
It is shit for me. It's expensive. It's terrible coverage. I can't pick my own primary care provider. I have to get a referral to see a specialist. I hate it.
It's bad.
But For the people who cannot afford to spend the $450 every month on that premium that I have to spend, it is life-saving health insurance.
And I swallow my fucking pride each and every time.
Fucking
because
time.
It's good for them. Republicans don't care about
because
that.
It's good for the greater good. It's taking away the limitations with pre-existing conditions that kept so many people from being covered. It's helping people, trans people who would have never been able to pay for their meds or for surgery. It's people who needed that fucking help. And if you are privileged enough to be on the other side of it, then what you do is bitch and moan about paying for your Obamacare, but you do it because you are fortunate enough to not be on the other side of it.
Absolutely.
So for y'all not to be able to look past yourselves, I've been very vocal about not liking Obamacare, but I supported it, and I supported President Obama, and I supported Hillary Clinton because I knew she was gonna not only continue it, but make or at least work towards the changes in Obamacare that needed to be made. It's not perfect. And President Obama did a really great interview in, I think, Vanity Fair or Vogue, something like that, where he talked to a White House historian. But he talked about how, it's not supposed to be perfect. It's the first iteration. Like, other presidents are supposed to come along and refine it. It's supposed to evolve. It's not supposed to be great out the box. I don't want 20 million Americans to suddenly be uninsured when Donald Trump takes office. Yeah. I don't want gay and lesbian couples who've been planning their weddings and honeymoons and all this stuff for next year to all of a sudden find themselves back in the same position we were in 2 years ago, where your wife is in the ER and you can't even go fucking see her. I don't want trans people to not be able to get documentation with their actual gender or names on it. Like, these people are going to enact so much terrible, hateful, restrictive legislation, and you white sons of bitches did this. Y'all did it. Y'all are the majority. Y'all are the majority of registered voters, and y'all turned out in majority numbers to vote for Donald Trump. It wasn't majority. You fucking rednecks in the Rust Belt came out, people who probably haven't voted in decades, came out to vote for Donald Trump. I think the final numbers was like 63% of white men and 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump. So don't part your lips to say anything about the black vote failed him or anything else when black men turned up at 80% and black women turned up at 94 for Hillary Clinton. Black women and black men rode harder for Hillary Clinton than white women do, when Hillary Clinton is a white woman. Now, certainly not all of those white women are Democrats. Certainly not all of them are liberal or even feminist. But the fact that y'all are really mad at us and trying to blame this on us, like, even if the other 5% of us showed up, what would that have really done? What would that have made any difference next to a candidate who it so greatly appeals to the racism deep in these people's hearts that a majority of white women voted for him? A man who talks about grabbing women by the pussy, a man who is going to appoint Supreme Court justices who are going to do their best to overturn Roe versus Wade. A man. Oh my God! Did you know that health insurance companies, birth control was not a thing that you were like entitled to have. You could easily be denied birth control. Like, so many of y'all, Plan B being made available over the counter. Like, there's so many services and products. Planned Parenthood could be at risk.
Certainly is. Certainly is.
The implications of
and nobody
this,
will be there to stop anybody from doing any bullshit.
And let's not even get started on how Donald Trump is a huge supporter of the police and what this is going to mean for police brutality and the Black Lives Matter movement. He's worried about police safety. He does not give a single fuck about what's going on with us. So me, as a person who cares about what happens in this country and pays attention, when I look at policy and the fallback of this election, there was no way I could not vote for Hillary Clinton, because the implications of a Trump presidency are just too much. It was just too great. But some of you didn't give a shit about all that. You weren't going to vote for Hillary because you're just a moral purist or what the fuck ever. Some of you voted for Harambe or niggas on Empire or niggas on Power because you think this shit is funny or a joke when it's really the fuck not. Like, some of y'all just didn't take it seriously, and now we all have to deal with the fallout of a Trump presidency. I'm not saying I'm blaming y'all more than the Trump voters. It was certainly Trump voters who did this, who secured this win. But some of y'all, especially those of you in those swing states or those counties where it really could have made a difference, it's like, why can't you get past yourself? I got past myself with Obamacare. I hate paying that Obamacare
It's
premium.
real. It sucks so
It
bad.
really fucking blows.
Hate it.
I hate it, and I never even use the shitty ass insurance on top of that. I never even use it.
Never. Girl, don't even get me started.
It's garbage, but I do it because it's for the greater good. And I don't know why y'all felt like the rest of our lives and the rest of our situations and everybody else's circumstances didn't matter. Even if you don't think you're racist or sexist or homophobic or transphobic or misogynistic or xenophobic, you voted for a candidate who is, and who is those things openly. So either you are those things or you don't care about those things, and those are equally bad in my eyes. You are just as big of a shithead for voting for Donald Trump, regardless of your reasons for doing it. Because he is openly hateful, you knew that, and you decided it wasn't important enough for you not to vote for him. Kiss my ass. I'm honestly, like, I spent the first couple of days in a, like, just totally numb, dazed kind of state. I didn't leave my house at all Wednesday. The weather matched my mood.
Oh, didn't it?
It was
I woke
all
up
cloudy
and it was
rainy.
just cloudy and rainy, and I was like, me too.
And so I just opened the windows and laid in bed and looked outside like, we're just going to be rainy together, girl. I mean, I didn't cry, but I just felt this kind of hollowness in my spirit. Like, wow, white people really fucking hate us, man.
Hate us.
To the point where they'll shoot themselves in the foot, because most of these Trump voters are poor white trash who are going to lose their union jobs because Donald Trump is not supportive of unions, or they're going to lose their food stamps, their welfare. When Obamacare gets rolled back, those are Medicaid and Medicare expansions that are going to disappear, and your poor white asses will be right back where you were before. But you don't care.
You're going to blame us for it.
But you're gonna. Somehow it's going to be Obama's fault.
It's going to be Obama's fault, our fault, Black Lives Matter's fault. It's going to be the Muslim people's fault. It's going to be everything else. And then you're going to come have some other fucking president, hopefully Democrat, and who knows what the fuck they're doing, come along next time and try to fix the shit. And then you're going to say that they're awful people.
Right.
And oh my God, how could they have left the country like this? But they didn't. The last president that y'all loved so much for hating us is the one that did.
And that's why he won again in 2012. He may be black and y'all thought he was a Muslim and everything else, but he turned the fucking economy around from what George Bush handed him in 2008, which was a goddamn disaster. The man has continually added jobs. He killed Saddam Hussein live on TV. That made white people very happy.
It sure did.
Like, Barack Obama made significant changes to this country, and actually it is the result of his work, his policies, the people he had in place that has y'all feeling comfortable enough to vote against him now. It's like you have no idea that the Republicans are about to come through and sweep all that shit away. They're taking
all of the nice
all
things
away. I don't want a single Republican in the House or the Senate to talk about unifying with these motherfuckers. We are not uniting with a party that wants to deport or ban Muslims, or that wants to keep trans people out of the fucking bathroom or out of schools, or that doesn't believe black people shouldn't be shot by the police, or that thinks that Mexicans are lazy or rapists and families deserve to be split up and deported. We're not uniting with that bullshit. We are uniting together against that bullshit. And so what y'all need to do is stay the fucking formation and make sure we're all doing everything we can to make sure that the damage that the Republicans do is as minimal as possible. And that means everybody is going to have to turn up.
Absolutely.
So like I said before, in the movement, everybody has a role. And come 2017, everybody is going to have to do more to make sure that the Republicans don't take away everybody's fucking rights. Thank you so much to all of you racist assholes who voted for Donald Trump, and all of you self-serving liberals who decided that Hillary Clinton wasn't worth your vote or whatever. Like, okay, girl, thank you, because now this is what we have to deal with. A Republican House and Senate.
They're both just so crooked and they're both total liars. I'm just going to vote third party, and I'm just going to have some hemp marijuana and fuck that, because I believe in a third eye. Girl.
I'm voting for Gary Johnson because I'm a libertarian. And I just really, so that's the thing. Like, everybody voting third party wasn't going to vote Democrat. They weren't going to vote. Some people voting third party are conservatives who hate Donald Trump, but also could not vote for Hillary, so they went with Gary Johnson because he's not crazy. Well,
I don't care about you.
Not as crazy as Donald. So obviously all those votes weren't going to go. But anybody liberal leaning who voted third party instead of voting for Hillary Clinton, I just can't.
I don't know what.
Why didn't you look at the big picture? Why would you not look at the big picture? I'm praying for the least amount of damage to the people that this is going to affect the most, but
It's like voting for like a bassinet or just like any inanimate. Just
I wish I could have said that I was surprised. I feel like
of water.
In the back of my head all this time, I knew that white America was capable of doing this. I knew they were. I did.
I knew they were capable of it because I knew once we got like really late into it where it was Trump or Hillary and I got over my initial shock, I was like, oh, like this man's hatred really like resonates with the hatefulness that takes place in or that exists and has existed in this country for so long. And like I said, we shouldn't be surprised. Many of us aren't really surprised because we've known about this for so long. I think maybe a lot of people who are white who voted for Hillary maybe are a bit shocked that so much hate exists, although we say it every week. But, you know, I just feel like it was just one of those things where you just, like, I don't know. You just have to, at this point, say, okay, this is some bullshit. But America is some bullshit in many, many, many ways. And we can't, at this point, submit to it. Like, it's exhausting.
Right.
And my, first thought and feeling was I'm going to stay under these covers and watch Martin all day long. And I'm not going to turn on the TV. I'm not looking at social media. Everything is depressing. But I have to, I can't, because that's what everybody who voted for that hateful bitch wants. Like, they want to break our spirits. They want us to feel ostracized. They want to feel justified in their hatred and want us to feel like we don't matter and like everything that we fought for and yelled for has been in vain and like America don't give a fuck about you. That's what they want for us to feel. And I just refuse. If anything, I'm just going to be defiant and say, fuck you, no bitch. You can't have my joy or my happiness. Fuck out of here, because you don't even know what the fuck what you just did.
Right.
You same bitches who feel like this isn't going to affect you at all. You little motherfucking 18, 19-year-old bitches who went out here just thought it was funny because you white and you got a trust fund, and so how could this even...
Right. How bad could it even really get for you?
Some
people, right. Some of y'all, a lot of y'all are poor and don't know it. A lot of y'all are like seriously losing your job and then having maybe enough money to get you through the next 2 months and don't know it. And when Donald Trump sends this country back into a deep-ass, hurting-ass recession, you're going to feel it. And some of y'all voted for Donald Trump for it, and it's going to come back and have nothing but negative impacts on your life. And all I can say is if you're that interested in preserving your privilege as a white person that you're willing to shoot yourself in the foot, then I personally look forward to seeing you stumble and fall and die. Like, I look forward to seeing you suffer. I do. I look forward to seeing Trump voters go through it. I look forward to seeing them have a hard time crying on the news about how they can't afford prescriptions and all this other stuff, because that's what you deserve. Who doesn't deserve it is the people who knew better and decided and decided not. And it sucks that the rest of us are going to have to suffer too. But those of you who voted for him, I can't wait for all the bad things to happen to you.
I want them to start now. Like, let's just get started.
Right. It's kind of unfair that they still have the next couple months to chill out.
Right. And it's going to be a rough time. I was already, suffering with the fact that I have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
To my Barack and my Michelle. But
not to mention Sasha and Malia, man. We watched those kids grow up.
Oh, and Bo. Jesus.
Oh, man. And you got to read the president's interview. It actually cleared up a lot of stuff for me. He said that, because, one of my main criticisms of President Obama is that he hasn't been harsh enough.
Yeah, he really
talking about certain issues, especially as they relate to black people. But in the interview, he said that he's looking forward to using his position post-presidency and his platform to bring awareness and talk in a way that he feels that he hasn't been able to talk because of the presidency and just... He straight up said, I feel like there's a certain way to act when you're president, so I don't do it. But as soon as I'm gone from this bitch, it's on.
I knew it.
And I think it was a pointed and symbolic and like very knowing gesture for them to refuse to pose for photos with Melania and Donald when they showed up. If y'all think I'm about to be at all respectful to that orange motherfucker, you can think twice. Him and his little rent-a-hoe that he brought from overseas who was working here illegally.
You don't even.
Donald Trump.
To go from Michelle
to that is just
what?
To go from a double Ivy League grad to an immigrant who came over here and worked illegally, aka the exact type person that Donald Trump wants to deport. Is just a level of irony I can't handle.
None of it is secret. We don't have any hidden files. We didn't do no Mr. Robot shit to get no like secret dirt. All of this is for real, and y'all voted for this nigga anyway.
It's important to remember that people will vote to uphold their privilege. So you look at the numbers, white men overwhelmingly are going to vote for Donald Trump because they see everything that they're afraid of. Donald Trump is saying, I'm going to stop it. White women, when it really comes down to it, all that woman shit they could really give a fuck about, they're going to hold on to this whiteness because they see what it does for them in this society. And they see all these movements coming up where people of color and Muslims and queer people are starting to be treated as human beings, and they're scared because they know once we're people, they don't want to share whiteness, aka humanness. They don't want to share that with us.
Not.
They have to have somebody beneath them because what's the fun in life if you have no one to oppress?
Right.
So they're definitely going to vote to uphold the white power structure because they benefit from that shit.
And in so many ways throughout this entire election, and even now, they have been saying that they want to like restore this order to the country.
Right.
Which is basically like white man
dark
on top
asses up
and get your fucking faggot nigger motherfucking asses
it's not happening.
Up out of here and shut your fucking mouths.
And I'll die for
and
this.
be grateful that we still give you cheese. Like that's what
I'm not doing it.
Bring
I'm not taking
it on.
Try me.
Right between the brows. Like I'm ready to die.
I'm about to be totally disrespectful. And yes, I will die for that. Yes, I will.
I'm willing to do it.
If I have to run up, if I have to demonstrate that I'm not the one in that manner to some of these Trump supporters or voters or whatever, then that'll just be what the fuck I have to do.
Just put a really good Trina lyric on my headstone. And I want them to play Candy by Cameo at the wake.
Yeah. Of course, we know.
Maybe like Love Drought when the pallbearers are taking my casket
beautiful.
down.
Oh, but just the chorus though, not the verses.
Yeah, no.
Because those are about niggas cheating.
Right, exactly. Just like
or maybe just the instrumental.
Essence, right, exactly, of the song itself.
Or we'll just have Beyonce hum it in the background.
I mean, look, if she cares enough, Beyonce might reach out once I'm dead and just be like,
at the bare minimum, you're getting a note on her website.
Right, absolutely. I feel like
you've earned it.
Like
you've
Beyonce
earned it.
Would be like, okay, girl,
you stand for a long time.
You died for this, sure, yes.
So, but yeah, it was disappointing, but not surprising because white people have been racist for a long ass time. And so
it's just like, this guy though, like I'm sure there are so many hateful Republicans who will run in the future. Donald Trump,
right.
My nigga. None of the other ones. We had really, really bad Republican candidates. Like
awful.
Trump.
But it doesn't really matter because Trump is going to be a figurehead. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's going to sign papers.
But like you said, he doesn't have to. That nigga can sit in his office and play 3DS all day. That bitch ain't got to know what the
He
fuck
doesn't
he's doing.
care about being president. He cares about winning. He cares that he won. He cares about being able to be on Air Force One and fly around.
Have the codes.
He's going to be like how George W. Bush wasn't really stressed. Donald about to be chilling while the Republicans have so much fun running the country for him, and all he has to do is stamp his name on some shit.
Fucking bitches and flying to exotic locations.
Oh, God.
While y'all gave Barack shit every time that nigga went to play golf. I mean, bring it. Let's go. I'm almost like excited, because in a way, I believe that God shakes the shit out of us in many ways, in unexpected ways, in unexplainable ways. And he'd be like, mind your business. Like God is like, mind your business and do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And I feel like this can't be anything other than that. Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump. The same nigga who talking about he can't... Don't even pay taxes, but wants to tell you what to do with yours.
Oh, I can't wait to not pay mine. I can't wait.
I'm already halfway through a very passionate letter to the Internal Revenue Service.
I don't want to pay him no way.
This whole quarterly business, I'm done. I'm finished. Like,
I don't want to do this no more.
Let's figure out what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just stop paying you because I know you would love nothing more but then to throw my black ass in jail.
I mean.
But very clearly, we're going to have to figure out when we can go ahead and confirm that.
Maybe
I
just won't pay taxes
you.
once he's in office. Maybe I'll pay 2015 and 2016. But
They
starting in
still gonna lock your ass
2017,
up.
well, do that then. Fuck y'all. I'll leave. What you gonna do? I'll go to a non-extradition country
I'll run.
and chill.
Yeah, I could run.
Fuck America. I don't feel no sense of obligation to this.
As soon
Sorry,
as I get
bitch.
like that first phone call or that letter, I'm flying to Miami, go to the port, get on a boat, and I'm out.
and be gone. I know you got family in Jamaica.
Damn, are you crazy? Shit. And if not, I can make one there, anywhere else.
Jay was like, girl, you know, her husband's family still got plenty of people back in Trinidad.
That's right.
She's like, we got an extra room at the house. I said, bitch, you know I'll be Noah's au pair /
right.
cousin / auntie.
That is right. West
I'll
Indian food.
carry my.
daily.
I'm obviously not planning to leave America, but I'm
Not
not
at all.
taking it off the table. This bitch could get real bad. It could. It could get really fucking bad.
I mean, if they're chasing me down on some Lauryn Hill shit, then I might, I might hide out for a while.
I hate you.
But I'm just saying, like, other
Yeah.
than that, bitch, come and fight me. I dare you.
So I'm done. I'm disappointed in you, America, but I always have been. So that's nothing.
Yeah,
new.
I don't feel like I'm any less. Well, no, I'm way, way more disappointed than I previously was. But at the same time, I'm not shocked that so
Yeah.
many white people in this country are hateful and ignorant as fuck and would prefer to be that way and would love nothing more than to have somebody come in here and shake this shit up and give them, the top 15 floors of the pyramid again, But like you said,
Yeah.
so many minorities and different groups have been made to feel empowered. And that is what really scares the shit out of them. And they know for the longest time they've been so hateful for no motherfucking reason that they feel like if they don't have somebody come through and squash us, we gonna squash them.
And it's the same thing with minorities who voted for Trump. Like when they say 26% of Latinos or something, first of all, I'm sure a giant chunk of those Latinos are white. Because Latino does not mean that you are not white.
Look, we don't even have the time.
And
to
I'm
explain
also
that.
sure, like you said, so many of the Cubans in Miami and Florida already know what's up. They've
Every 4
been
years.
promised
Every 4 years.
the ability to stay so long as they vote Republican.
That is correct.
And then there are people of color, including black people, who voted for Trump because they're hateful in some other way. And they feel like their blackness doesn't matter as much as that. Like
usually self-hateful. Like
so
usually
quite a few of them
hating
want to be
themselves.
white anyway.
Yes.
But some of them really hate gay people and don't want them to have the right to get married. Some of them really hate trans people and don't want them to be able to have jobs
Some
or
of them
go
hate
to
Muslim
school.
people too.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying there are lots of reasons why people of color may have voted for Trump, but overwhelmingly white people did this.
The numbers don't lie.
So
bro.
white people need to clean it up. I would suggest that y'all not avoid your families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm seeing a lot of well-meaning white liberals talking about, I'm just not going home because I know my family voted for Trump.
You need to go and cuss them
Go
out.
home and cuss them out. Confront them. Use your privilege to get through to the people who do not listen to the rest of us. Please.
We can't
Please.
do it by ourselves. I don't
We
know how many
can't.
times we have to say that.
White people, look at what your people have done. Fix this. We cannot do. They're not listening to us.
They
Y'all
don't care.
have to do something. Don't avoid your shitty family. They're not dying fast enough. Either take them all out yourself or go talk to them.
Did you see the Samantha Bee clip where they were going out and they were talking to the these voters? And
Oh, Lord,
they tried
no.
to
I did not.
They found this one guy who was like, I think it was a county or state that was red and was like mostly Republican. Because this guy who was a Trump supporter said, look, I don't know many Hillary supporters. I don't have many of them in my life. And this girl was like, well, we have one right here. And they brought this little old other white lady who was a Hillary supporter. And then she said, I just want you guys to look each other in the eye and compliment each. Just say something nice about each other.
Oh, Lord.
And the guy was like, well, I don't know her. I can't compliment her. She doesn't know me and she can't compliment me. And the lady was like, well, I think that you're very well spoken. You get your point across really well. And that's very great. And then she's like, the host looks back at him and he's like, well, I know you're a Hillary supporter and I just want to know, like, abortion. Like, what do you think? And the girl was like, okay, you're doing really badly. If you could just give us one compliment.
We're just wanting for one nice thing.
She's like, I can think of 10 things right now. I'm not trying to show. Like, it was hilarious.
I need
She's
to watch
hateful.
that.
Yes, it was really good. But
a lot of them, they're just hateful. Or you have a lot of white Christian evangelicals who think Donald Trump maybe is terrible, but they also hate abortion so much that the rest of his hatefulness they can just overlook because they really want Roe versus Wade overturned. Even though if you don't want to have an abortion, you simply just don't have to have one.
Don't do it.
I don't even understand all the anger towards abortion because it literally has no effect on you. Like you could just not.
Don't have to do it.
It's not like somebody else can dial into your womb and have an abortion for you, girl. It's not like hackers can go in there and do it against your will or something. Like, why are you so crazy?
If you got a girl pregnant and she had an abortion without your approval or whatever, that isn't reason enough to not support.
No, it isn't because if
it's her body and she can do what the fuck she wants.
Right, and if you claim to be Christian anyway, then you shouldn't have been fucking outside of marriage, certainly without a condom. So you just have to take your L's. I mean, and right, that's another thing. So many married women get abortions because being married doesn't automatically mean you have the security to take care of a child.
Absolutely not.
There are plenty of married couples who have kids and cannot afford another one, period. And shit happens, so women get abortions. Women need access to safe, legal abortion because there are so many circumstances that could happen where you don't want to or should not or are incapable of carrying a child. But those people cannot look outside themselves.
But white people in this country just, love telling people what the fuck to do. That's all it is. Like, it's like you're incapable of just minding your own motherfucking business.
Right.
And letting people who aren't having a negative effect on you or doing anything to your life to impact it negatively, letting them just simply live their lives. No, white people have to tell other people how to get in line, when to, what to do, what to wear, or whatever, because that all trickles right back into sitting at the head of things and, delegating shit and telling people how the fuck they're supposed to live their lives. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Black people could never stand on any fucking podium and say half the shit that Republican white people say and get that respect. Are you kidding me?
Please.
They'll say, get your black ass off the stage. I agree with you or whatever, but bitch, what are you doing here?
Can you imagine if a clip came out of a President Obama joking with some other black man talking about grab her in the pussy? Can you, nigga, please.
They would have burned him alive.
If there was a single nude photo of Michelle Obama, it would be all over every porn site. They would be disrespecting her in all kinds of ways. Meanwhile, Melania is allowed to finger herself in a photo shoot, and all of a sudden y'all want to be feminists talking about, well, she's a model and it's beautiful. And since when do you hate the woman body? Since when do you embrace nudity? All of a sudden, everything's okay because it comes wrapped up in the hateful white power package that you love so much.
Did you just use the term slut shame?
What do you know about that?
Are you sure you didn't know Fury? Oh, okay. Let's
Child, these old hypocritical ass, hateful ass sons of bitches. I'm disgusted with America, but nothing else is new.
Nothing at all is new. I mean, I guess the one thing that I can take away from this is that, at least it wasn't the Democratic candidate wasn't somebody that I was like head over heels in love with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still really wanted Hillary to win.
I did
and
too.
there was a lot of stuff that she said right here, like the last leg of things that I was just like, go girl.
Yeah.
But, it was still a lot of, all right now, girl, like I'm gonna vote for you, but you better handle your business,
Right. But I didn't, if Hillary would have won, I wouldn't have had nightmares and been unable to sleep. I was unable to sleep thinking about the people in my life who will be directly affected by Donald Trump and this Republican government and the changes that they're going to make.
Hillary Clinton could have won and gone on fucking Tidal the next day doing a juju on that beat with Karen Civil and Pusha T, and I would have celebrated. Like, I would have been doing it right along with her in front of my MacBook. I would have been excited for Hillary Clinton to win because I wanted Donald Trump to lose. The same way many of them are excited Trump won because they wanted Hillary Clinton to lose.
Right.
But as many of us have said, I'm disrespecting the fuck out of your president the same way y'all disrespected the fuck out of mine for the past 8 years. And no, that nigga wasn't perfect, but he did amazing things. He gave a fuck about this country and the citizens in it. And he wasn't, ashamed to act like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, he didn't always come straight out and say Black Lives Matter and how dare you white people or whatever. But I can't wait for him to get out of office and go to Wakanda and get his Black Panther suit and come back over here with the claws right on out. Like, I'm ready. But,
right. I don't like it, but I respect that he has enough respect for the office of the presidency not to wild out right now. I wish he was, a little bit more buck like I am. But then if you act like me, you're not going to be president in the first place. So, it must be a certain amount of gritting it and smiling through your teeth.
Can. I mean, I feel like I can be president at this point. You clearly ain't got to know what to do.
No, you don't, but you do have to be white. So you can't be black and unqualified. Let's be for real. You can only be white and utterly. Donald Trump is the first president in this country who has no military or government political experience. None.
He's never been in the military?
No. Of fucking course not. Why would Donald Trump ever serve in the military?
I don't know. I felt like I heard
he's always been privileged. No. Donald Trump's never been in the military. He's never held a seat in office. He is just some white man that these people elected.
Some white man.
That's it.
That these people elected. That's
bozo.
Literally the answer.
Thank you, Solange, for dropping your album when you did, because it has carried me since Tuesday night, girl. I've been listening to it nonstop. It was exactly what I needed, but this is just...
I went to the gym after therapy yesterday, and as soon as I walked into the locker room, they started playing Freedom by Beyonce.
Oh, shit.
And I know the girl at the front, I don't know who controls the music, but I know a lot of the people in that gym are black. So she was like, okay. You white folk coming in here today, you hearing all of it. Yeah, that's right.
Amen, girl.
A Black Lives Matter playlist.
That's right. Put on your Black Power playlist and have your moments where you can, because we
4
deserve
years of it. Bring it on.
And I hope y'all are ready for me to be at full... disrespectful asshole, because that's what I'm giving at every opportunity. I can't wait to kneel and spit during your fucking anthem.
I'm breaking nigger records.
I can't wait to wear disrespectful Donald Trump, Melania Trump, them ugly ass kids t-shirts. I can't wait. I'm going full asshole, and it's gonna be glorious. I read something, I think on the Washington. God bless that youngest one. He was looking like, I don't want to be here.
He literally rolled his eyes like, I hate everything about this. I don't know why mama even encouraged you to do this fuck shit.
I could be catching Pokemon. This is stupid.
I could literally be catching Pokemon right now.
Garbage. So I think the Washington Post said that hotels in D.C. were expecting to be sold out now with people trying to book for the inauguration, and it's like crickets. Because who wants to go see Donald Trump be inaugurated? I will be actively avoiding the news that day.
Calling the W so about that stay I booked, let's
right.
go ahead and snatch that right on back, please, about my deposit. Thanks.
I'm gonna go ahead and need that back, girl, since we're a good 2 months in advance. Thanks so much.
I will never be there.
No.
I won't.
And it's going to look like a white power rally when he does.
Oh, and poor DC having to live right by him.
Oh my
God.
But again, Donald Trump is not going to be, he's going to be the name, but he's not going to be the real problem. The real problem is going to be his vice president, his cabinet, and that fucking House and Senate. That's exactly what our real issue is going to be.
But sitting there and watch American Dad.
Child, that's what he doing right the fuck now. What you mean?
I hate him.
He chilling the fuck out. He's not. Him. Thanks, America. Thanks so much.
Well, I think that's the best that we could do. Look at that.
Yeah.
Just a lengthy program
Oh, God.
today.
Oh, that was a whole 2 hours.
Surprise.
Guess we had a lot on our mind.
Well, thanks for listening. What do we have in terms of news? Boston, we have a show coming up on December 4th. If you can find it in your heart to actually come out in
December.
Pre-Trump world.
Right.
We encourage you to do so. We're certainly going to say horrible things about him and the people who like him.
Mm-hmm.
So come on out to that, as well as Miami on December 17th.
Mm-hmm.
You can come and you can go to thereadlive.com to get tickets for both of those shows. We're very excited to do that.
Yeah, don't forget to check out our website, thisistheread.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr at thisistheread.
There's also crissles.com and thekidfury.com. And there is Agents of Shade on PlayStation if you want to go and do gaming stuff there. And there's The Friend Zone and another fun show that's coming out soon. And yeah.
All right. I think that's it. Do we have an acronym this week, or are we just tired of white people?
F T A Y I was gonna say fuck Trump and you if you don't like it.
No, I would not have been able to keep up with it. I thought it was fuck Trump all year.
Trump and you if you voted for him, and you if you don't like anything that was said on this show today or the show next week or any future shows, you can suck my black ass ball sack from behind 28/7.
Amen.
And we'll see you later.
All right. Bye, y'all.